Hello and welcome to Deft and Dorky. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons and talk about cons. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Hello.
Cons. So just cons. No elaboration on that. Just cons.
Yep.
No pros, just
Just one.
Cons.
Cons short for conventions, not
Episode
confidence.
name has been found.
Yeah, so no Brian tonight, but we will forge on. Let's see. Last time you guys finished your fight with the aftermath. Got everyone except for Jensamar, who seemingly got away with anything of import within the house. You saved Lucia. You then tried to interrogate Lucia. She wouldn't really talk to anyone. She talked to Jace a little bit because he cast charm on her. You then took her back to the tower and kept her tied up. There was a short fight between her and Tez Tuzmo as she did get free. Tez Tuzmo did end up putting her back down because she had no weapons. And you then got
Don't
rid
take away from
of...
Tez Tuzmo. It's because Tez Tuzmo is a hero.
Oh yeah, of course.
Exactly.
You did take off all of her magic stuff. She had a couple rings. She had like 7 daggers or something. She had a cape and she had some armor. You took the rings off and figured out that one of those rings was some kind of control ring. After you got that off of her, you then had to cleanse the charm, which took a couple tries, but you did get it done, which got rid of the charm on her from whoever, seemingly from Jensamar. Because of the ring. She said that they paralyzed her and then forcibly put it on her. But you got that stuff cleared up. She was still tied up because you didn't trust her. And you decided you were going to end up taking her back to Graven. But before you got underway, Saturn decided to put on her armor. And she was staring him down the whole time.
Correction. Saturn put on his new armor.
Thank you.
You then teleported to the Ivia's mansion, which there were a couple people outside at the time. They saw Lucia ran inside, and Graven began to walk out with a few of his folks, and that is kind of where we stopped. So that's where we'll pick up. Graven walks out, sees you guys, sees Lucia tied up, beaten, and with Saturn wearing her armor. He starts walking towards you, and you see him sort of balk a little bit and stops and looks at you guys. Oop. Something has gone wrong.
Oh, no.
Interesting.
It's always him.
Oh, there we go. That was weird. Hold on, let me fix Joe's thing a little bit. It's a little off.
I think it's because Joe's sitting so far to the side.
Yeah, that's my fault. That's my fault. I forgot to turn my camera.
That's why. I don't think it was.
My bad.
All right. So yeah, Graven walks out there and sees all this and stops, and he just looks at you expectantly.
I'll say she was under a spell, controlled by someone.
Jensmar.
That's his name.
He looks over at Lucia, and she sort of like gives him a head bow. And he looks back at you. Is this
Just to be safe.
no longer the case?
Yeah,
One
I think
can
she's
know.
all right. But, gotta be safe.
Lucia looks at you guys.
We can give her back. I think her rings and stuff, right? We don't. we give them
did
the.
we look at them?
Yeah,
Took a
we,
little longer, I think.
we knew what they were, right?
Yeah, it was
One
a
was
ring
like-
of protection, that ring of control, which she immediately told you not to put on whenever she was no longer
Yeah,
charmed.
we identified everything.
The cloak and the armor with the
Ring
things you
of-
took off of her.
Out of Merton's character, the ring of control might be something to hang on to because then we can like
But
find others.
the way I understood it, it's pretty much attuned to Jensamar, so anybody wearing it would be controlled by him.
But assuming he probably made a few of those.
You don't know.
We
All you know
could-
is what's
we-
on the.
we do
What does
need
it
to
say
keep
on
it-
the? I don't remember what it says on the actual card. How much it specifies what it does, and how it works.
I'll read it again here in a minute.
Graven looks at Saturn. Looks like stares him up and down. You care to explain?
I think I won it off of her. She tried to kill me. I won.
She tried to kill all of us.
Price for her survival.
Make a. We'll call it a persuasion check.
Who?
Saturn. Oh,
Can I
they
assist?
have to pull you over here.
Or do you have good persuasion?
Oh, it was a natural 20. I'm not gonna lie. $20.
20 total. He stands there. Ivia, or not Ivia. Lucy is also still looking at all of you like just waiting to be essentially told she can move. Graven looks at you, Saturn, and says, "That's fair. Perhaps there's something we could give you in exchange that has some sentimental value."
What do you have in mind?
In the meantime, I'll hand
I'll
back
tell
her.
you what.
I'll hand back her ring of protection and the cloak,
Okay.
but I'm gonna keep the curse ring.
Okay.
I don't want that falling in somebody else's hands for now.
All right.
You
I'll
clearly
explain
have-
that. I'll explain that to him too. I'm gonna keep the curse ring. I don't want that falling into somebody else's hands.
She's just standing there, like arms tied behind her back, so she can't take anything from you right now.
No, I'm handing the stuff to I'm handing the stuff
okay.
to Graven
All right.
because we told her that we were gonna give her stuff to Graven, and if he wants to give it to her, he could.
Okay.
Before we left.
I'll nudge her like signal that she can go to Graven.
Okay. She starts
She's
to
not, like,
walk,
prisoner or anything.
staring at Saturn. She walks over there, and he immediately just takes out a dagger and cuts the ropes, and like puts his hand on her shoulder and looks at her. Sorry, Joe. What were you saying?
all talking to Raven.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. Clearly have the ability to get powerful magical items. Help me with my designs. Help me find somebody that could enchant, or at least help teach Mouse to enchant. And you got a deal?
I can see what I can do. It's not really in my wheelhouse.
Well, if you want it back, that's the cost.
He looks at you. He looks like he's looking you over, trying to figure something out. And he says, "You're Kalishtar, right?"
I am?
And he stares at you for like a moment longer, almost seemingly just trying to decide if he should say something or not. And eventually he does say, You ever heard any stories about Kalistar boy disappearing?
I'll start clipping the armor. No, I haven't. I'd like to know.
I'm keenly inciting this guy the whole time,
Okay.
trying to listen to this story. Is he just saying this just to get the armor back, basically?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
I'm not very good at insight. I'm just gonna.
17's not bad. But he's kind of made a living at doing what he does. So you aren't really sure. It seems like he wouldn't. It seems like he knows something, at least. Of course, he deals in the sale of both goods and information, so take that as you will. But he looks at you as you're taking off the armor. And he says, I always try to do a bit of research on people that have been in my employ, and I wasn't sure it was you. Which is why I was hesitant to say anything. And I don't know much. But I know that the Aegis was hired several years ago, around the time you would have been a boy, to come perform some sort of exorcism of some sort in a village called South Lenling. But the boy disappeared.
South Lindley.
And South Lenling, you make a history check for me. Anyone can make this.
See what I get.
15.
So you would have actually heard this name before. Oops. You would have heard the name Lake Lenling, which was like several days travel to the southeast of Rinport, just south of Tambor, which is... Well, here, I'll take us back to the atlas so we can look at it. Okay, so Renport is here, which is where you're from.
Okay.
Tambor is here, and you would know that there's a Lake Lenling that is in this area.
Isn't that where our little side adventure was? Is that over there?
It was close. It was over here.
When he says that, I'll give a smile, holding the armor, and I'll walk over, start give the armor back.
Okay.
And cast aid on her.
Okay. And he says,
She'll heal
that.
for 15 points.
Okay. And he says, I appreciate that. But I believe I still owe you something for finding out what happened to Lucia. And he sort of like looks over at that like secretary person that had been following him around the last time you spoke to him. And he says, he looks in the book and he says, this Draga, You called him Reginald Bowley? We had acquired for him... hold on a second. We had acquired for him a devil horn and a clockwork heart.
When?
Well, it took us a while, but we just delivered it maybe a month or two ago. It was just before, right around the time we met you.
Isn't Bully the one that, like, was around a long time ago?
Yes,
Shouldn't
he's the
still be-
one.
Shouldn't still be alive.
Yeah, he's the one who had the sloth-like claw that hit Jace. And you saw him leaving the dragon cave, Pagos' cave. He says, yeah, it's clockwork heart, sir. That one was a hard one to come by. Did you know that most Modrons, when killed, disintegrate?
What is
Did
it?
not.
A clockwork heart.
The thing that what's his face wanted us to get.
Yes.
Okay.
Who wanted us to get one?
Your library
Traylor.
guy.
Traylor had asked you guys if you ever come across one, that he would like one.
Where does
What
one
do you-
get
what
a
do you use those
clockwork
for?
heart?
A Modron. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, they come from Modron. I can't give away all my secrets, but it was quite difficult to come by. We may have actually lost a little bit in acquiring that one.
A Moldrin. What is that?
Modrons are sort of clockwork beings. They derive from Mechanus. It's a different plane of existence. Much like devils come from the Nine Hells. He told us to keep an eye out for a few other things, but I told him after the last one we would have to wait and see if we could recoup what we had had. But I knew how to contact him should we happen to come across them.
These Moldrin are pretty impressive.
Yes, I suppose they're odd kind of creatures.
If we ever come across one, anything we should know? If we try to take one down?
There are several different varieties. I don't know each and every one of them, how they function. I just know that virtually all of them disintegrate upon death. Which makes a clockwork heart very difficult to acquire.
I guess one has to... steal the heart while it's still alive.
Perhaps.
So, he's saying that they delivered a Modron heart and a what else to him?
Devil's horn.
To Drago, right? That's who they
Yes.
know him as.
Yes.
Can I do like an Arcana check to see if I might know what those two things would be used for?
Sure.
Oh no, 12.
Yeah, you're unsure. I mean, you know that Traylor has been wanting one, of the hearts anyway, and the Devil's Horn. I mean, there are seemingly a number of things that could be used for. You don't know.
Good.
What are the other items that he was on your list for him?
He asked if we happened to come across a piece of a Storm King, which that's not something we're going to come across, or a let's see, what was the other thing? Unicorn horn, which also very difficult to come across.
Do you have a way of contacting him? What if you got these things?
The same way we contacted you. I have someone who is sending.
Understood. All right.
About that town, is what story you heard? Is there any family name?
I didn't come across one. Most of the information we had was through Aegis files. And there was a Aegis wizard there who was the one who did. Hold on. He looks over at his person there. Someone by the name of Selkath, I believe, was the wizard dispatched to take care of it. But I didn't get the family name.
What was the wizard's name again?
Selkath? He was
Selka.
quite old at the time. I'm not sure he's still alive.
Does that name ring a bell at all?
No.
Okay. Well, you cracked the case. You found the kid.
Congratulations.
What happened with that exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit. The Feywilds are pretty nice this time of year.
Are they?
They sure are.
I don't remember it being that nice.
Attacked by a dragon. It was, swamps and frogmen.
So he's been handing his stuff, Lucia's stuff, back to her. And as she's like putting the armor back on, she says, "There was one thing I forgot to mention." As she's putting it on, and sort of looks up at you through her brow. I think Jensamar acquired that ring from someone else. Potentially someone named Igra.
Who's Igra?
Don't know. Just a name.
Igra.
All right. Well, we're just gonna hold on to this ring for now and do a little research. Nobody's gonna wear it.
I'll say that name does ring a bell for you guys. And that is because that is the name that Jace's mother said the person who swapped places with her from the Abyss to Carcerai was named Igra.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good.
You know this person?
Possibly. You ever heard of Carcerai?
She's sort of, I think so. Graven is, yes.
Might have escaped from there.
Escaped from there.
It's not that difficult, okay? I've done it.
Well, I hope I don't run into them then.
No, this is not good. We need to find them.
And Lucia's like finishing putting on her armor, and she's, I wish you luck on that, if that's what you wish. If you come across Jensimar, let me know.
We will.
Although I really doubt anyone's going to find him for quite some time.
Mhm.
Any idea?
You'd be
where
surprised
he
what we
might
could
go?
do.
I have no idea where he might have gone. But given the fact that his place has been raided, he's been found out by the Aegis, and if he ever finds out that I'm alive, I doubt he will want to be found.
You don't remember how folks teleported into town, do you?
I was never taken there. People
No,
just
when you were.
walked into the house.
Anything else you remember? Might be helpful.
The mention of Igra seemingly having given him the ring. People coming in the house. I think most of them were, or at least a good number of them were there when it was raided. I don't know. He told me to kill as many as I could, including the leader of the Aegis, when we went out to do so. That's about it.
Well,
What's next?
what's next?
He just looks at you and
Sounds
says,
like
"What is next?"
sounds like we need to go find this guy.
Well, what's next for you? What? I mean, this is our place. How long do you plan on staying? Now that we have.
Plan to stay under the radar a while longer, while things cool off with the Aegis a little further. Best I can tell, everything is still pretty locked down. Has that been your experience as well?
Oh, yes. Completely.
Hmm.
Quite annoying, actually.
And I would guess that the Aegis has gone through the untapped potential. Do you have any information on that?
Do not.
I will say that Aid had mentioned that they raided, they found some underground place. They didn't mention exactly what it was, but there was nothing left.
Can I get a
Whether or not
refresher
you
for
choose to
untapped
disclose
potential?
that, but
What that means?
do what?
Can I get a refresher for what untapped potential means?
That's the bar that his place was under.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Man, I just gotcha. So as far as we know, that it's just it's empty, right?
Yeah, which he said that they got everything
But
that they
they-
could get when they took off.
No, the untapped potential.
Yeah, and like Graven said that whenever they left that place, they took everything that
Yeah,
they could get their hands on. And then you heard, like I said, you heard Aid say that they had looked through some underground crime ring spot, but he didn't specify what it was called or where it was. But there was nothing.
I don't know. I don't know that I would say that because we don't know that he was talking about that specific place.
Okay.
So
So he just says, "Yeah, we're waiting to. I'm going to keep feelers out for when things have calmed down, which may be soon. If they decide to pin everything on the people that they killed, this aftermath, we may be able to set up shop somewhere pretty soon. We'll have to wait and see.
Good. Hopefully, we can get back to normalcy before too long.
All right. Well, I think I need a rest. I'm a couple spell slots down here.
A couple, all right.
My magic energies are waning.
All right. What would you guys like to do? You can take a long rest here easily enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna head inside and find an empty room and take a rest.
Okay.
Because I used several spell slots to dispel that magic, and then I used the teleport. So
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out on the porch, looking like I'm minding my own business, but secretly keeping an eye on everything.
Okay. You do.
Silently judging.
You mainly just see most of the people like playing cards and whatever, which I would imagine is probably what Jace would be doing as well. If you're taking a long rest here, you do see. Make me a perception check.
me,
Merton.
I was gonna say because I'm gonna head in the room. So
Ooh.
You do see briefly Lucia and Graven seemingly having a bit of a reunion and just going over some things potentially. You can't hear what they're saying, but you can see with the dirty 20, you can see based on their like facial expressions and stuff that they are happy to see each other again.
I'll just hang out there for a while and then go to my room. I'm assuming I still have a room.
Yeah, I think it's got I think you told Wesley to make it like a painting that you move.
Oh yeah. No, it looks like the wall.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
don't remember how you had him described for him to have it open, but it was something needlessly complex.
Yes. I can try to remember if I can figure out how to get in there. If I can't, I'll holler for Wesley, where's my room? Where'd you put it?
It's right here, sir. Remember. Are you going senile, sir?
Stop moving things around.
Anyhow, this is not where I left it. All right, so you guys can take a long rest.
Yay.
I gotta go grab a pen. I'll be right back.
Okay.
what was the name of that town that they were talking about? I forgot to write it down.
For Saturn?
Yeah, for Saturn. The name of
Southland
the boy
Link.
when
And having do what?
I need to write all that down.
Yeah, Jace isn't here to take notes for you guys.
I took most I took notes for most of the stuff. I just missed the town name.
South Linling.
Yep.
And what was the wizard's name?
Selkath. Which, I mean, take as you will. As far as you know, he was just the one who happened to get dispatched by the AA when aid was requested. But having returned Lucia to the Gilded Shadow, you guys level up.
Oh, yay.
So we can roll some hit dice.
I need to level up my character now. I wasn't prepared for this.
So level 12 now, right?
Yep.
Oh, feat or an ability score improvement. What do you take?
I don't know. What do you
I-
The
take?
ability score improvement.
I am going to take another warlock level.
Ooh, okay. Let's roll some hit dice.
Mine is a D8. I won.
Reroll once.
I rolled a 5. Look at that.
One is terrible. Nice 5.
A 4.
Way better than a 1. 4 times better. In
Come
fact.
on, 12.
Hey, 9's not bad.
Okay.
Ooh, another Eldritch Evocation.
Yours is a D10. Tez Tuzmo, I think.
Yeah. I need to turn off something real quick. Oh, okay.
I always want to take some feat just as a role play purposes, not even anything useful. Like chef.
Hey, Chef can be
Tavern
Okay.
tavern brawler as a
good.
wizard.
As a wizard.
I don't know. It's just,
Dude,
amazing.
that's terrible. I'm sorry that happened. Yeah, if you don't want to decide just yet, I don't know, but you can do that in between sessions if you like. If you're trying to decide on a feat or something.
I think I'm just gonna take Sentinel.
Ooh, I thought you had Sentinel. All right. Nothing's getting away from you now.
I hate it as a DM. I'll try it as a player. No point doing any ability stats because my strength and con are both 20.
Oh, sounds nice.
I'm gonna.
all right.
I think I'm gonna take telepathic feat. That's what I'm gonna take.
Okay. Any story for how this happens, or just wow, this happened?
I go to sleep in this magical tower, and all of a sudden I can hear people's minds when I wake up. It's crazy.
All right.
I can even speak to people in their head. Came to me in a dream overnight. Oh, that was magic. What can I say?
It's magic.
Could be backstory-ish, something I've been working on for a while, and kind of like trying to learn on my own, and finally hit overcame the roadblock that was blocking my mind, and now I'm able to telepathically communicate with something.
Okay.
Side effect from all the teleporting.
Yep.
Oh, that side effect messed my head up.
All right.
Wizards are a pain. Yeah, I gotta figure out a spell and everything. Anyways, we can continue. I'll figure this out.
Yep.
Let's go.
All right. Where would you like to go?
That's the question.
I'm gonna have to learn sending. For when Brian's not here. Or Jace isn't available. No, I'm not gonna learn sending. Screw that.
You can.
No,
That's something
not-
you can choose
I
in
would-
between sessions as well if you'd like.
Yeah, I might wait on the spell. I don't know. I had no idea what I was gonna think of there.
Okay.
Okay, long rest. Morning.
Yep. Got your long rest. Got your level up. You have Oh, you have all the stuff you had before, which a lot. Well, not a lot. Some of it has been tied up. And then the new things you have are the South Lenling, potentially finding Jensamar, which you have no place to start on for that right now, and Igra, which you also have very little to go on.
What's the Joe backstory? Keep forgetting the name. South whatever. What's the
I don't think he ever told us. So
South Lingling.
like what's the question there?
Oh well, I need to find who my family is. I mean, if we have the time, I'd love to go do that.
well, we don't have any other leads to follow down right now, so we're kind of at a standstill until I don't know, we find something along the way. But why not that?
Sounds like they were trying to get rid of Char, even back then, so who knows? Let's go find out.
Works for me.
Okay. How are you guys going to get there? Let me ask you that. Are you walking back to Tokre and then taking liners all the way around, or how are you wanting
Liners are for peasants that don't own their own boats.
We have a boat.
Time to call it.
Jace is gonna send a message to say, "Meet us over here."
I mean, you can certainly do that if that's what you want to do. Where do you want to meet?
Where we at right now?
You are at Ivia's mansion, which is about 3 days walk from Tokria.
Akria is the
Where we just came from.
middle one. Of the coastal towns?
Yeah, Tokria is this one here.
Okay.
And
So
then
where our figures are there.
Tambor's over here, and then South Lenling would presumably be somewhere along Lake Lenling there.
We might as well sail over to here.
From Tokria?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Any reason to not do that?
Yeah, you can do that. Are you going to try to contact your boat and have them privately take you over there, or are you going to take a couple of liners?
Our ship can do it, right?
It's up to you.
Well, if we're gonna have our ship take us, we might as well have them take it the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Let's find out how far from. Let's find out how they may be weeks out from town too. We don't know where they're at.
It only takes like a day to get across the whole thing. So it's
yeah,
small.
for the most
lake,
part of it,
so-
yeah. Jace sends a message and is basically conveyed back and forth that they can meet you in Tokri in about 3 days.
Perfect.
So
Well,
Interrupt,
that sounds
interrupt any
perfect.
shipping routes, they can just drop us off.
okay. If there's anything you guys want to do during the walk, the 3-day walk, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we
Practice
can
my
just
sentinel skills.
practice them.
I mean, we can.
Hey, Test 2 Smoke, come here. Now run away. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
I mean, during the downtimes, I could get with Saturn and we could continue looking over this design that he needs done and what we need to do to get this going.
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate the help.
Try to.
Oh yeah, that was another
come
thing
up-
you guys sort of had on your thing, was to go talk to Orist Frope, the watchmaker.
Well, I'd love to start that, but I think finding out what's going on with my family seems a little bit more fun to me at the moment.
Okay. So over the course of 3 days, you guys make your way across mostly open field, as you don't typically take the road when you go this way because you don't want to go through what's it called? Ula something. Ula guard? Ula
Why do we avoid this?
Ulstead. That's what it's called.
This is something Merton wants to avoid, right?
Yep. Anytime you guys are talking about doing that, he has just said he doesn't want to go through there. So yeah, 3 days later, or if there's anything else you want to do along this 3-day trek, feel free to do so. Otherwise, 3 days later, you arrive in Takria. The checkpoint is still there, where they have to get your license and ID and all that stuff as you enter. Is there anything you want to do in Takria?
In Takria.
Yep.
We're gonna go. While we're here, why don't we just make a quick visit to the watchmaker guy? He's in this town, right?
He's not. He's in Bloomshire.
Oh, he's in.
He was in here, talking to Traylor that day that you guys came in, but he doesn't live there.
Never mind that.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to do in town. Just passing through, meeting up with our crew.
We could go talk to, if we're in Takria, we could talk to Traylor and ask him about the clockwork heart. Why does he need it?
And the dragon horn, what those two things would be combined for.
Is it a dragon horn or a demon horn?
Devil's horn.
Devil's horn.
That's what it was.
It might give us an idea where he might be.
Yeah. Head to the library.
Okay.
I'll stay outside.
Those of you who want to, you can go up and talk to Traylor. He's up there with his piles of books. Maeva will take you up there.
Hello, Maeva. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How are you, Saturn?
Doing fantastic. Got some leads on wonderful things. If you don't mind, can we see him again?
Of course. Let me take you up there. And she takes you up there and opens the door, and Traylor just sees you guys. He's reading a book. He just looks up through the book and looks back down at his book. Hello.
Did you miss us?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, got some questions for you, if you don't mind.
Of course.
The clockwork heart.
Oh, did you find one?
Well, we kind of got some leads on where to get them.
Ah.
What would somebody do if they got one and mixed it with a devil's horn?
Or maybe not mixed, but used in concert with. And also maybe a piece of a Storm King and a unicorn horn. All those things might be together. Do you know anything that would be used for? Or anything you've read about?
He stares off into space, sort of looking around a little bit. He says, I
want to inside him.
Okay.
I just want to see if he's things are clicking in his mind because we're giving him information he didn't know.
Go ahead and insight.
Nope.
He's looking around. He's trying to figure something out. And he comes back and says, I'm not sure what those separate things might be used for. He's still sort of thinking about it. Why do you ask?
Well, somebody we've been following needed them and got them. I think
Got half of them.
at least half.
We're just afraid this person may have not great designs on things that could happen in the future. So, want to make sure that we don't need to track him down quicker if he's making something catastrophic.
Let me roll for him and see if he can figure anything out. Oh, that's pretty high. He says, I'm not sure what that might be used for. Those things, seemingly all from different planes of existence. Something extraplanar, perhaps. But without more information, I couldn't be certain.
All right. Well,
We know about this guy. Like he'd be old, like super old, right? He should be.
Yeah, you know, he would be pretty old. Yeah, like, I mean, he was a human, so not super old compared to, say, an old elf, but certainly old for a human. Yes.
Older
Could it
than
be
a human
used?
should be, right?
What?
Like older than a human should be.
Yes, and he doesn't look old.
Could it be used to rejuvenate somebody, make them younger?
I mean, there might be a way about it, but it seems convoluted. I don't know why you would need all those things. You guys did figure out potentially why he looks that way. The last time or time before, you researched Slod and found out that they can shapeshift into their host that they were hatched from.
So do we think the one that got those things, I think that's a Slod, not.
It seems likely, based on, because Jace's description of the claw and the information that you found out about Slod.
we know that Slod can be spellcasters too, right? We did learn that because we researched something about them.
Yeah, you didn't find that out, but I mean, it's not. Traylor could tell you that if you asked him. But there are lots of things that can cast spells. It's less to do with race and more to do with other magical things.
I'd probably say so. Trailer. The only other information that I could think of that might help is that would those items correlate with anything Slod related? Anything that you know of Slod? Would they use those for anything?
He sits and thinks, and he's. It would need a lot more, but maybe if they were trying to, pull something through a different plane, maybe.
What if they tried to pull?
Potentially bad.
Have you heard of Carcerai?
Yes, of course.
Could it be used to pull something out of that? If they had something to replace it with?
You wouldn't. I mean, it would have to be something of a particular heft to need that kind of summoning out of Carcerai if you already had a means of getting them off of the plane itself. With Carcerai, it's not so much a difficulty in getting through the plane as just figuring out a way to get out of the plane, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yes, we've been there.
How did it go?
We got
We're
out.
back.
So you are.
We understand how cars are.
What was the bad thing's name again?
Which bad thing? Draga?
Dragon. The one like the one that is that his name?
Jinsamar? I mean, I don't.
Yeah,
We have several.
Jinsamar's
We have several
leader.
bad guys.
No, someone E something.
Oh, Igra,
Igra, yeah.
the
Igor was
one
the
who
one who got
Jinsamar might
off.
have acquired.
Yeah, Igor's the one who swapped places with Jace's mom from Carcera.
Yeah.
To get out of Carcerai.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of the name Igra?
Can't say I have.
Well, maybe they were trying to get Igra out of Carcerai, and they used Jace's mom as a replacement. And they needed, for some reason, they needed whatever they needed.
Oh, he says that was the closet. He's sort of starting to piece things that you're talking about. She was in Carcera. And he says, I don't know. It seems like this Igra would have had to have been. It would have had to have been something very powerful for them to need those things to pull it out of Carcera.
Well,
He didn't
this
need
thing
it
is
because he swapped, right?
Yeah, as far as you know, he swapped.
He didn't need out of there. He just needed out of Abyss. Is that where she was?
Yeah, that's where he went when he swapped.
what if Igra survived in Carcerai because something really bad helped him, got him out, and he had to perform something to get it out?
Suppose it's possible. You said this was a slod, though.
Yes.
Typically, they don't, unless it was another aberration that was stuck on Carceri. I don't know. It's not enough information.
Maybe we do some research here today. Hmm. We need to find out any aberrations that might have been stuck on Carcerai.
It's quite a tall order. I don't know that that's information they're going to have here at the library.
Mouse, is there anyone in the Aegis that might have any information on beings that were sent to Carcerai?
I mean, I'm sure there are people in the Aegis that would know things like that, but I don't know who they would be. And as far as I know, my main contact, the only person I considered a friend, has been MIA since I haven't been able to contact him since the attack happened.
Well, we're gonna have to figure something out about that then, at some point. Keep trying to get in contact with him.
I have been, and we've tried sending. Jace has even tried sending spell, but we're getting nothing from him. So
Yeah, Jace did try sending once, which didn't respond anything because, well, you weren't sure why, but likely because anti-magic fields were in place around Aegis locations at the time.
and we haven't been back to Brable, to find out. It's not an easy trip for us to get there like it used to be. But if we were to go to Brable, I might be able to find if Marcellus is there. I think everybody's met Marcellus before, right? Because he came to the tower and helped unlock the door, and
I don't think he came to the tower, did he?
yeah, he had to. He had to cast the spell on that prismatic door.
Okay. I don't remember.
Because you even said, so this is where he's from. This
Oh,
is
okay.
his tower.
Oh, yeah, because he didn't actually open it. He just got through one of the barriers. That's right.
Yeah, he went with the barriers for us. Cast the spell. And then I took him back, basically, right after.
Yeah.
But I'm sure everybody's familiar with Marcellus, at least in passing.
Yeah, I think you've all met him. He certainly knows Saturn, because he helped him get his license with a nice sob story, which you guys rolled a nice persuasion check
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah, that too.
Now it's true. Like level 3 sorcerer. Why do you have a legendary license?
No reason. I just like legendary things.
I get hassled for this cape all the time.
All right, so what's the plan? Are you doing research in the library? Are you trying to I guess at some point during today that your boat's going to show up.
I'm gonna get ready to go to the boat.
Okay.
I don't think any time spent at the library, I will spend time trying to find anything I can about aberrations in connection with
If
getting stuck there. But
being a learned man, I will help him look for those information while we're there.
Okay, you can both make investigation checks with advantage if you're asking librarians help.
you say investigation?
Yeah.
Ooh, I have +9 to that. Dang, because I suck. Oh,
Oh
God.
no! Oh no!
Oh, I rolled a 20.
Yeah, dirty 20. Not a whole lot more than what you found last time. Other than you do come across a little bit of information about the fact that aberrations tend to come from the far realm, which is it's almost like a theoretical plane of existence, as not many people, if any, have ever gone there and come back. But it is seemingly where they are from. But that's about all you can get more.
Alright, sorry, Saturn. We're just not finding anything. This library just doesn't have what we
Yeah,
need, I don't think.
I didn't figure they would, but it's worth a shot. I bet Martin is just so sick of sitting out there for hours.
Martin's just sitting on the steps, just throwing rocks,
Head out the door.
trying to hit birds.
Testus was like, "Hey, you stop that!"
Okay.
I would want
not
to be in the
find-
library trying to read some stuff.
Alright,
Just about birds.
as after we do a little research and we're not finding anything, I'll be like, Saturn, I think it's time we meet up with their ship. We need that transportation.
Yeah, let's head out. I will start heading towards the boat.
Okay. You
Right
guys
over
make
to
it
the
over to the
dock
docks. Sure enough, your boat is there waiting. You see the I don't remember what the guy's name was. The captain that was put in place by
Vonic.
Juan, by Mr.
Oh,
Vasquez.
Vaughn, that's right.
The one that Vovek is supposed to be shadowing. But you find him and like the half crew of veteran sailors and the half crew of Goliaths there waiting. Goliaths are getting pretty good. Things are working out. But they get you all on board and they say, we're going to, Jace said Tambor?
Tambor, yes. Looking into some things around the area. Just need a ride there, if you don't mind.
Sure thing. And we'll say at crosses over a day just for all this everything to get going. But the next day, you guys arrive in Tambor. It doesn't take that long to get there, but between like filing a plan and all that stuff, and you guys got there later in the day, we'll just say it's the next day. So, and you guys arrive in Tambor. I don't think you guys have actually been to Tambor before. So this is the sort of city on the Ledric Sea that is, I don't want to say forgotten, but it's the one that like nobody cares about. All the people that live there are kind of like think of themselves as, rebel is the wrong word, but they think of themselves as a certain kind of special because nobody thinks of Tambor as much of anything, and they sort of take it as a prideful thing. All the other sort of docks around the Ledric Sea, all their dock districts are painted the same color. Not Tambor. It's just whatever. But
Okay.
you arrive in Tambor.
Human town?
Is it a
This
is
is-
it a larger city or is it like a smaller?
It's a smaller city, but it's still a city. So it's like bigger than any town or anything you're going to walk through. This is along with, this one is more gnomish, even more so than Renport. So everything on the south side is under the Glipnik Commonwealth, which is largely gnomish. The further west you go, like Renport, you get a like more humans and elves and things. The further east you go, the more gnomish it tends to be, with Bloomshire being where like the most sort of gnomes per square foot are. But Tambor has mostly gnomes, but does have other races as well.
All right.
So everything's kind of, as far as architecture, very gnomish inspired. Let's see. So if you get there in the morning, are you going to just walk straight towards South Lindling, or you need to do anything in the city? Or
If you don't mind, I would like to just head straight there. Everybody's
Wait.
on board.
Hang on. Is there a library here? I'm kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Merton. I look at Merton. I'm just kidding.
Or Titan?
He's right.
The mall.
I say, I'm just kidding, Merton. Let's go.
Surrounded by nerds.
So it is about a week's walk to get to South Lindling. As you walk around, you see that there are some couple roads. Like there's a road that comes off like this. And the sign says it's to North Lindling, but you have to like follow this road all the way around. And then there's another road that comes off like this towards a place called Balmel. And then a little bit further down the line, there's a road that comes off like this that says to South Lendling. So, again, 7-day journey. If there's anything you guys want to do along during that walk, feel free. That would be like right there-ish.
Keep my shoes well maintained. Make sure everyone knows how important it is to have a good pair of shoes.
Keep your socks
Every
dry.
night. Every night. Same story.
Pet some birds. Pet some squirrels. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, those scary diseases. Get your hands off those.
Poor Testes. He just wants to play with the birds. All right. So I will advance the calendar 7 days. Again, if there's anything you want to do during that time, feel free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is now March 20th.
And flies when Jace isn't talking.
All right, so you guys come up to South Lindling, which is it's got a pretty small, like I say small, maybe like 8 to 10 foot palisade fence around it that goes up to the lake itself, and then it has like a small dock area with small fishing boats that seemingly go into the lake for fish, obviously. But it's like a small lake side community.
Like little village, small.
Yeah, like town size, not quite village small, but maybe like 1,000 people tops.
In my head, when we're walking up to the town. Well, Nosh, we're here.
Nosh, as you get closer to it, Nosh is like, I think I remember some of this. It looks familiar.
Well, at least I'm not alone in this.
Go ahead and make me a... I'll call it a wisdom saving throw.
I'm really good at that.
To see if you can sort of push past some of the blocks put up by
27. Yeah, 27.
27. So as she said, this is looking a little familiar. You start looking around and like certain, like there's a building, one of the taller buildings in the thing that you can see over the fence. You're like, that rings a bell for you. You start to smell the lake, and that starts to feel familiar. It's not as if you remember being here, but you remember a memory of being here, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Saturn's gonna have some tears start to well up. And I'm gonna cast Fly and go up into the air.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just kind of start looking around
Okay.
the town, get a bird's eye view over everything, and see what else I can kind of pick out, and have conversation with Nosh.
Okay.
What do you remember? This is a very nerve-wracking. I don't like this. I don't like this film. I'm nervous.
It'll be okay, Saturn. Nothing's going to harm you now.
I know that. It's just weird. I wish Varnick was here.
Well, you have other friends now. You'll be okay. And as you're flying around, you do start to pick out, like you see the docks, and you, like, with that smell of coming off the lake, and you seeing a certain pier on one of the docks, it pings into your memory that you remember like sitting on that dock with like a fishing pole, just sitting there, and like different things like that around the town. Like you remember there's a general goods store that you remember walking to, and you think you might remember at least the neighborhood. Maybe not the exact house, but at least the neighborhood you lived in.
I'm gonna start with the dock, and I'll go land there.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
And I'll just
wondering what Saturn's doing.
We're all just looking up at Saturn.
Yeah. We're looking at each other like,
We're just all looking at each other and looking up at Saturn. Like, huh.
Okay. What are you doing at the dock?
I'm just gonna take my time and just try to embrace the time I have here.
Okay. You go to that spot where you remember sitting, and you sit there, sort of dangle your feet off the pier, and you remember feeling home. And then you look around, and you're like, this doesn't. I mean, that feeling is there, but it doesn't make sense. In your it the emotion is there, but the intellectual connectivity is not. It's just a feeling you have that you don't remember why you feel that, other than what you've been told.
Yeah, I'll just sit there for a little bit, and then I'll go past the general goods store, and then I'll go try and find my old neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah, with the 27 on your wisdom save, that basically helps you break through a lot of the, we'll call it conditioning, that was done to you by Shar to tell you that these things didn't matter, basically. You walk by the general goods store and, like, just not even using words, just communicating with Nosh, like, ideas and images. You just start walking as if you've done this 100 times. And you walk into a neighborhood that you feel familiar with.
I'm going to make my cloak look very nice and not too lavish, but pretty, like, purple and like deep purples and a little bit of silver colors. And I'm gonna put my hood up. And I'm going to try and find my way, if I can try and find my way to the house that I remember.
Okay. You do all that and you just sort of close your eyes for a second, take a deep breath, and you just start walking. Open your eyes and start walking. And everything is just feeling slightly familiar to you. And eventually you just come up to a house, you look at it and you're like, both you and Nosh at the same time, I think this is where we lived.
Take a deep breath. It's time. Then I'll head for the door.
Okay. You're
Hood
knocking.
up.
Hood up.
I want to have it up, trying to conceal my face.
Okay.
Especially my hair.
Okay.
And I'll knock.
You knock on the door. You hear movement on the inside, and someone's walking towards it. The door opens, and you see a seemingly a Kalashtar woman, middle-aged, opens the door and says, "Yes."
Do I recognize anything?
Make me we'll call it a history check.
Quiet, straight roll. All right. 17.
17. Between you and Nosh, this person looks familiar to you.
Hello. I'm not from around here. You see, I'm kind of down to my luck. I've had my coin purse taken. Could you spare a drink of water?
Make a, we'll call it a persuasion check.
Persuasion. That's perception. That's wrong. That's the same. It's +5. 24.
24. She sort of looks you up and down with your hood up still, like not trying to show your face. She's like, of course. Wait here. She closes the door. Like a minute or so goes by, she comes back out with
I'm gonna be when she walks away. I'm gonna be like, Nosh, did you feel that? I know her.
Yes, she's something. For sure. The door opens again.
Saturn is like shaking at this point. He's like very nervous.
She opens the door, reaches out to hand you this cup. And do you take it with a shaking hand?
Yeah.
She says, "Are you okay?"
Sorry. Like I said, just down on my luck. You wouldn't happen to know where the nearest inn is around, do you?
She says, "Yes, you follow the road back into town. Are you not from here?"
No, I'm not. Well, a short time. Haven't been back in a long time. Don't really remember much.
Are you showing your face yet?
I will have like kind of peeked up a little bit, but not much.
Okay.
I'm honestly I'm like trying to avoid eye contact. I'm not even looking at her
Okay.
for the most part.
Okay. She says, "Well, good luck to you." She reaches out her hand for the cup back.
Have you lived here long?
Quite a while.
I'll hand the cup. You don't know of a family that lived here that lost a son?
She sort of looks at you. What do you mean?
It's just stories of a Kalistar disappearing.
By this point, she's like trying to look past your hood. Why do you ask?
I'll look up at her, revealing my face.
She sort of, like, her reaction is somewhat subdued. She sort of steps back and she goes, "Are you him?"
I think so. Yeah, that's me. I don't know what my name was then, but I go by Saturn.
Saturn. Yes, that was the name of the boy. Saturn Kendar. Is that you?
Cornelius now, but I didn't know it was Kindar.
Oh dear.
Whenever I was 4, I disappeared.
Yes, you certainly did. Would would you like to come in?
Yes, if you don't mind, I think this was my home. I
That
think.
it was. Yes, I knew your parents. She invites you in. and looking around, like it's somewhat familiar, although the furniture layout has changed, so it's not really ringing those bells for you, but you do recognize parts of the house. And she says, "Where have you been?"
I was taken to the Feywild.
Feywild.
Do you know what was going on during that time?
And as you
I've
say
only heard-
that, you notice a shift in her demeanor as she seemingly is remembering what was happening. And
Just don't. Shaw's gone.
give me a persuasion check.
23.
She relaxes a little bit, but she's now a little bit more on edge than she was before. And she says, I don't know who Shar is, but the idea was your parents thought something was within you that shouldn't be there. They tried to get rid of it, and in doing so, you disappeared.
Yeah, that about sums it up. Have you ever heard of Seluna, the goddess of the Feywild?
No, I don't think so.
Well, she had a sister. Not a good one. And she was trying to use me to take her sister's spot in this Feywild.
She says, that sounds awful. How are you? Are you okay? How did you survive?
Great friends. Great friends. I'm lucky enough, went to the Feywilds with intentions of defeating a Seluna goddess that I thought was Shah, but it was the other way around. And the real Seluna took her place in a brighter, better way.
I'm terribly sorry. You must be wondering what happened to your parents. Your father... I'm not sure where he is. I'm not sure where your mother is either. Your father... Well... After you disappeared, they tried to make it work. But it was hard on them. Your father eventually gave up and moved to High Bluff. But your mother stayed here in hopes that you would someday return. Eventually, after a few years, she got desperate. And she sort of, as she begins to say this next part, she's like takes a deep gulp, and you can see like as if her mouth is just drying up. She goes, she went to seek the aid of old Edith, and she never came back.
Who's old Edith?
Oh, right. She's an old woman, lives in the forest.
And
People think that she can make deals to help people. but I've never heard of anyone getting the better end of it.
Where exactly is she located?
You aren't going to go there by yourself, are you?
Not alone. No. Like I said, got good friends.
It's a few hours' journey outside of town if you go outside and then go west into the jungle, into the forest. After a few hours of walking, you just start saying her name, is how they say she shows up. But Saturn, it's not... I don't think there's anything out there for you.
Maybe not. What? I think I have to do this.
Well, I suppose if you survived in the Feywild as a child, there's a decent chance you can survive a meeting with old Edith. Just
Survived a lot worse. Promise you.
keep in mind, whatever
Have you ever seen an
she
ancient
offers
dragon?
you, I've not.
Oh, they're big. Very big. But anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, yes. Just remember that whatever she offers you, it's for her benefit.
Understood. Thank
Oh,
you.
Ki- Kitara. Kitara was your mother's name. And Loreth
My-
was your father.
Gotcha. Do you mind if I just take a look around?
Oh, of course. Go ahead.
I'll take a little bit and just kind of scope everything and try to see what I remember and talk to Nosh about everything.
Okay. As you're going through the house, like you just, every now and then you'll pick up something like a scuff on the floor that you remember. You eventually do find the place that was your room. And while the furniture is all different, you still remember like the looking out the window. You remember like sitting in there on your bed and talking it over with Nosh, and Nosh is just like, I remember all of this, Saturn.
I don't. This feeling is just so weird. I've never really. I mean, I love Tempest, but didn't feel like home. This is. I don't even hardly remember being here, but this feeling is odd.
Yeah.
We need to go see this Edith.
We need to find Mouse and Merton and Teztuzmo and Jace first.
You're right. I'm gonna go back down or stairs or wherever I'm at and thank you for everything. I need to go find my friends. We have some planning to do.
Good luck, Saturn.
Thank you.
She sees you out, closes the door. And as soon as you walk out, your nose fills with that lake smell again. And it's such a potent, like reminding sense that you have been here.
I'll put my hood up and have like a little bit of a emotional cry for a minute, and then I'll go find my friends.
During that time, Nosh just consoles you. Just like, we know now. We found a big part of it.
We're on the right track. Can't believe for so long I felt like I was abandoned and I wasn't. I feel like I have to find them. I have to repay the wrongdoing of thinking that they abandoned me.
You can't blame
I have to
yourself,
find them.
Saturn. Shar wanted you to think that. She wanted you to think that she was the only one you had.
I had this rage for them for so long. I have to find them. I'm going to find them.
We'll find them.
I'll head back to my friends.
Okay. After a, what have you guys been doing in the meantime? Anything? Just walking around the town?
Did you say there was a lake nearby?
Yep.
And we know Saturn's gonna go talk to somebody, so I'd probably pull out my line and fishing stuff, and I'd throw it in to the lake and just fish while I'm waiting.
Okay.
They're like a town square, town center.
Yeah.
I'll hang out around there, waiting for Saturn.
Okay. Anything you're doing, Testuzmo?
I'm just gonna be messing with the birds, feeding the birds.
Okay. Of course.
The seagulls.
All right. So yeah, I don't know who you come across first. If you go straight to the docks, or if you try to go back through the town center, or whatever. But you will eventually run into your friends who are pretty stationary.
Well,
Okay, let's go. Let's go find the people you're here for.
when I find them, I'll look at them and go, mi casa is su casa. Welcome
What?
home.
I'm gonna look around and be like,
It's a local term. Don't worry about it. Come on.
What were you saying, Ray?
I just said I'm gonna look around and go, what home?
There's an inn up this way. Follow me.
All right.
No, take him to the inn.
Okay. Yeah, it's getting later in the day at this point. Stay at the inn would be... $3 silver for per bed, or per room. You could get up to 2 beds in a room.
I will cover it, all the rooms, and everybody can have their own if they choose.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the common room and order a meal, the best they got. Quite hungry after that travel.
I will go do the same.
Okay.
Meal sounds good.
Okay, another silver for the best they got, which is nothing spectacular in this smaller town, but it's good.
I got this silver.
They got
don't pay for me.
their sort of thing that they take pride in here is, of course, fish. So you can get that for silver.
All right, gonna get the special, whatever they got. There's fish. It is.
Yeah, if you're looking for like the tasty stuff, it's like fish and chips. Or if you're looking for the fancy stuff, they can get like a broiled something or other.
Fish and chips made differently.
Got fish, and well, we got fish.
Or you can have moss. Have a wide selection of algae. But it's good. The especially if you got the battered fish and chips, it's quite good.
All right.
I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 plates.
Okay.
Just scarfing down this food that feels oddly like home.
And man, once you smell the like cooked fish, from here, it's like, yeah, I've absolutely been here before.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just chowing down.
I'm gonna be eating mine, and I'm gonna look up and be like, man, it's good, but I'm watching Saturn devour plate after plate.
Swear, I've never had food this good before. It's delicious.
Just eating it, going, yeah, okay.
All right. Food is had. Rooms are paid for. What would you like to do?
Sleep.
We in the morning, if you don't mind, we need to go into the woods and find a woman named Edith. She might have my mother.
Okay. In the morning? That sounds good. We'll do that.
Okay. You take a sleep. You don't get a long rest. You do get a short rest since you have traveled multiple days. But I think most of you don't have any spell slots outside of Saturn, which is a warlock spell slot anyway. So you get your short rest.
Before I take the short rest, I'm going to cast fifth level spell of fly into my ring.
Okay.
And then
I'm
I'll
gonna-
take a short rest.
I'm gonna try to get up sometime in the middle of the night, and I'm gonna go outside Saturn's room. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna have it open the door. I'm gonna go in. It's gonna float over his head, and it's gonna like put a finger like in his ear and like tousle his hair a little bit.
What?
And then mess with him a little bit in the middle of the night.
Eldritch Blast. I am going to. Do I see him out there? Can I see him?
Depends on where you stand. You certainly see the mage hand.
You see the Mage Hand. I'm gonna be like out of sight, but I'm gonna have it go in and like, tickle your hair a little bit. Like,
I am going to just start pointing my finger around and cast a message towards Smell. I can't see you, so I can't mind link with you, but this is good enough. What do you want?
I'm trying to sleep. Keep it down.
all of a sudden, you're gonna hear just Mouse out in the hallway, just laughing hysterically. And then the Mage Hand just disappears, and that's that.
Saturn will get a good chuckle out of that. And then go to head to bed.
And then I'll go back to my room and lock my door.
All right. So you get your short rest in. The morning comes. What would you like to do?
Whenever I meet up with Mouse, I'll put an arm around him and say, thanks for last night. That was funny.
Just trying to make you feel at home. The
I
loving
appreciate it.
embrace of a hand through your hair.
That makes it a little weirder, but still, I appreciate it.
We've been together a while. Weird is okay.
You're right.
No, it's not.
As he says that, I'll put my hand on his bald head. Do the same. Doesn't it feel nice?
I'm gonna go back to
All right. I'll be like, all right, let's go find your mother.
Let's do that. Let's go.
All right. You guys exit town, and there were guards posted when you came in, and as you guys walked up and Saturn took off, they just sort of looked at you and said, you with you?
He was.
They just sort of give you the nod. Take it easy. Don't cause any trouble. And as you
Speaking of
guys,
trouble,
as you leave, they give you the nod.
have any trouble around here recently?
Nope, pretty quiet.
All right.
All right, you guys leave town. They give you the nod. You walk, get out on the road a little bit. Start walking west, into the forest. Are you going to do anything specific, or are you just walking?
I'm gonna keep walking and I'll start going. Edith, Edith, Edith. Everybody, follow my lead, and get a cadence going.
This
I'm
is
gonna-
kind of weird.
Mouse is gonna drop back a little bit. He's gonna be in the back of the line.
This is what they said to do.
And after we start walking a little bit, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand.
Everybody, be prepared. She might. Anything she tries to give you, be wary of it. She always wins the deals. You won't get what you want. That's what I was told. So no deals.
No deals. Just kill her.
And I'll start with the Edith.
Okay. So after a few hours of walking through here, there we go. You applied? Okay. You guys have just been walking, saying Edith, Edith, just walking through this forest, and then suddenly, you guys all just get just a split second of lightheadedness, and as you look back up, like not directly in your field of vision, but just slightly off to the periphery, you see an old cottage. Let's see. Okay.
Is that our destination?
Nah, it's just something he's gonna tell us about. He's gonna summon us all to this board with a cottage and be like, that don't look like it. Let's go this way.
So you guys all see this old cottage, and you look over at it, and the front door just opens.
I will subtle spell cast comprehend languages just in case anything comes up and I need to know what they're saying.
Okay.
Weapon ready.
And I'll head up.
Got my javelins out.
I'm gonna send my owl into the door with telling it to report back to me telepathically what it sees inside.
My sprite's going to be invisible on my shoulder.
Okay. Where are you sending your owl?
Just straight through the door.
Inside?
Yep, inside. Stray bird. You got the door open. You're in the middle of the forest. A stray bird can come in.
Totally plausible. So your bird gets there before everyone else. And what you see is seemingly this old woman with like exaggerated facial features. And there's a cauldron that she's sort of behind. Her head just comes just a little bit up over it. Not a lot. The cauldron is maybe 4-ish feet from the floor to the top of it. It's got a fire under it. And this old woman with like heavy robes is sitting there, and she looks up at the owl. She says, "You called me."
And I'm going to be holding on to Merton because looking through the owl, and I'm just going to be
I'm just-
reciting what I'm seeing.
Okay.
to everybody,
I'm just gonna be heading in.
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna have the owl like perch somewhere inside, and then my sight's gonna come back to me, and I'm gonna follow everybody else.
Okay. As you guys hit the porch, you hear from the inside, "Please enter. Let us talk." And
Oh,
Saturn,
ahead.
as you hit the door frame, she looks up, says, "And what brings you here, son of Kendar, charge of Cornelius?"
Where's my mother?
And that's where we're going to call it for tonight. So, thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week. And we'll see what happens. Bye!
All right, bye.
See ya.